Hi, welcome to my channel, Inner Goddess Guidance. My name is Lara. I am a divine feminine on the twin flame path. I created this channel as part of my mission in assisting you on your journey of self-healing towards self-mastery. I really created this channel because when I was embarking on this journey, and it was kind of confusing, I was looking for concrete actions and tools, and I wanted to know what I could do to get control of something that felt very out of control. And so I put together some tools for myself and a process for myself that I found really useful. And then as I was stepping into mission, I was guided by spirit to begin this channel. And I use tools from my personal coaching background as well as my teaching background, and then of course my own experience on my healing journey. Today I want to start with a suggestion for you, and that is that if you don't have your own personal healing cards or oracle deck that you really feel bonded to and connected with, that you go out and find one and buy one for yourself. There's nothing more powerful than putting your own intention and asking spirit to give you a direct message, and it doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, I just daily draw a card, and sometimes I draw more than one card to guide me. And I want to suggest that there are some apps that you can use. One very beautiful app that I have found useful, I have two on my phone. One is the Good Tarot, I think it is called the Good Tarot. Let's see. Nope, it's called Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. I think it cost me about $6, and there are several different readings that you can do. And then the cards are all there, and you kind of flip through them, and I always say a little invocation before I do, and then I click a card or I do a reading on that. And they're really good. All the information is there just like it is in the book. I find it really helpful. Another one that I have recently added because it was on sale, which I have been loving, is the Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. And I think it's currently on sale, and I think I spent like $3.99 for it. And I have been doing a reading for myself every day. It actually prompts me and said, oh, it's time for your reading, if I happen to forget, which so far I haven't, because I've sort of made it a habit to start my day that way with intention and focus. So, and then when I created the channel, I was trying to put those components together, but there's no reason that you need to rely on cards that are drawn by somebody else for the collective. You can either buy your own oracle cards and have them in your hands and do your own shuffling, or you can use these apps, and I find the apps to be really very useful. The only drawback for me as a 51-year-old is that using my phone for too long and looking at tiny type is frustrating. And for some reason on these oracles, you can't like make it bigger to read the text. And so that's a little bit of a bummer for me. I wanted to share with you the one I drew today because it relates to the project that Spirit has asked me to present to the collective. And so I want to start with the card that was drawn, which was card 24, Reveal the Peacock Beauty. And then I'm going to share with you some of the cards that have been created and why art therapy is effective. So, Reveal the Peacock Beauty says, the beauty of the peacock is breathtaking and stunning, lush color, with stunning, lush color unfolding in graceful and profound display. You too are a great beauty, beloved. Within you resides a glorious divine being of beautiful light with an ability to create as your divine birthright. Our creativity is an essential part of who we are. We each create differently. It's so beautiful. The Peacock Beauty speaks to you of your creative energies, rising to sublime, inspired new levels as you are accessing the power of your throat chakra for higher creation. Your intentions, decisions, and particularly your words are becoming more powerful. Enjoy the wise use of this growing creative potency to express the beauty within you, asking for divine blessing on all your plans, projects, and words. The Peacock Beauty can silence us with her sheer magnificence, reminding us of the power of genuine beauty to bring us into peace and harmony within. There is a stirring within you to create greater beauty in your life, to honor the creative ability that you have to express such sublime feelings that reside within you. As the soul grows spiritually, the creative energies begin to rise from the sacral chakra in the hips and pelvis to the throat chakra, where they can be translated into sound and made manifest. What once would have been more instinctual creativity, beautiful in its own way, becomes inspired and sublime, adding depth and healing energy. That's crucial to your creative expression. You can begin to create divine beauty through your words and actions. You become an active healing force for divine beauty in our world. So I think I'll pause there because I want to talk about the healing oracle. So I have started a Facebook group that supports people in the creation of a divine feminine healing oracle. Now, I have, bit of an aside, I have been learning myself as I begin to juggle, and I mentioned that in another video, that when we juggle more things, sometimes when we first start juggling, we drop things. There's mistakes along the way. Well, I realized the other day that there's a lot of people who don't want to be on Facebook for whatever reason. And there is absolutely no reason you have to join that group. And I had thought, well, I would be saving everybody these long explanations and maybe they weren't interested. But then I realized that that was making an assumption, and assumptions are never helpful. So I have been asked in my role by Spirit to show up, to give messages, and to provide a pathway to healing for people. A pathway to healing, not the answers, not to do the healing for you, but to inspire you with a way to do your own healing. So I am going to post the topics as they come up in the videos, and I want to invite you, no matter who you are, where you are, whether you're connected to Facebook or not, to follow along with the process here on the channel, and you can do whatever you want to do. So let's say that you want to create your own oracle, and I've already dealt with a topic. Something comes up in your life, like release or self-doubt or sensuality or something. You might look back in the videos, because the videos are not attached to any timeline. So go back and watch the video that has a talk on that. And not all your information needs to be found there. It can be used as a catalyst for you to go do your own research, to consult other people, to have a conversation with other people that you're connected to, other divine feminines, for example, to have conversations with people in your life. And then you can, once you've sort of gone through and processed, create your own cards. You don't have to be connected to the group at all in order to do that. And so if you want some tips on what to use to create the cards, you can go back in the videos and find that video that's on the Oracle card creation, and there's some tips there. I have one more tip, and that's that you can go to Amazon or to an online retailer and look up blank flashcards, because they sell these flashcards for teachers that are blank on both sides, but they're thicker, they're cards. You can also buy blank playing cards, and that's another thing that would be really useful in this process. And so your cards don't even have to be particularly artistic in the sense that they just need to be yours. You're processing, you're owning the cards. They're your designs and your symbols and your colors, created the way you want. And then you have your own Oracle card deck. Whether or not you're choosing to share them with us in the Facebook group or be a part of that group or not, this is in and of itself a healing path. Okay, so the 2 tips so far is get yourself a good deck that you feel bonded to, whether that's physical or as an app. I invite you to go ahead and create your own Oracle using the topics of the videos in the past or the topics that I'll be doing in the future. So I want to share with you an example from the group and talk about why art therapy works, and art. Yeah. So this card, which is for awareness, you can see the word down here, was created by one of the Divine Feminines in the Facebook group. And her name is Gaia Sun. She has her own YouTube channel. And she has stepped into mission in 2 very profound sort of ways since the beginning of this project. One, she has started spirit chats on her YouTube channel. I will link her YouTube channel for you. Her spirit chats are her talking about her experience on the journey. And what I find so wonderful about listening to somebody else's journey is the connection that's available to me by listening. I mean, it would be even better if we could have conversation in person, or to connect like we do in the Facebook group through chat. Or even just as I've made bonds with people, we've exchanged phone numbers and we've had chats on the phone. It's the connection that is a part of the component toward healing, because we resonate with other people's journeys, and then we understand that we're not alone on this journey. It is when we feel isolated and alone that we begin to feel sort of crazy. And part of the reason why we're reaching out to tarot readers or other channels or other blogs or information is because we need to know that we're not alone. This experience is something that is intense. It's sometimes very confusing, and to have other people who understand and have gone through what we're experiencing is extremely helpful. So her spirit chats are wonderful. She is a shaman. She has wonderful life experience. She's incredibly intuitive and deep, and just a very real and non-judgmental, open person. So her spirit chats are really worth listening to. The other way that she's stepped into mission is that she has long been an artist that does digital art like this, like you see here. And she does that using a variety of tools, and it's a sort of a painstaking process of finding the images and layering them and creating a collage. And she's started to offer spirit prints that you can contact her, and then they're sort of charged to your energy. She uses sometimes your images, and you'd have to ask her a little bit more about her process, but she does have a video about that on her channel. So if you wanted to get your own spirit print to use for meditation or for your own visualization purposes, your own healing purposes, maybe for your altar if you have one, that would be an idea for you. So her name again is Gaia Sun, and she is on YouTube. I will link that in the description. So now let's talk very quickly about why art therapy and how it can help us process things. So we have like a lot of thoughts all the time going on in our head. Even when we're asleep, our brains don't shut down. But certain parts of our brain shut down. Our prefrontal cortex, which is the part of our brain that's constantly organizing and assessing things and ordering them, sequencing, all of that stuff shuts down when we're asleep. We access deeper parts of our brain. We often call subconscious or unconscious parts of our brain. And that is where a lot of information, intuition, connection to spirit is all happening. When we meditate, by the way, we can also shut down our prefrontal cortex and access that as well. So art therapy is, because it is non-verbal, it's not based in language, it also allows us to access that part of our brain that is subconscious and unconscious, and by working through symbols and color and shape and design, and we can get into what's called kind of a flow state. And that flow state is not only beautiful to be lost in, where you're sort of lost in time, it's also extremely relaxing. You're in touch with deep parts of yourself that you may have forgotten in your conscious mind. And it can be really good and has long been seen as a really effective therapy when you're working at healing. So if you're doing, let's say, inner child work, and you allow yourself to draw some pictures without judgment, one idea is to use your non-dominant hand in doing that. We are able to symbolically access things and then bring them into our conscious. So once we're done with that process and we look back at it, we can gain clarity. We can see things that we couldn't see before. Some people are really uncomfortable with art because in some ways we were traumatized as children. I was. And so we restrict ourselves and say, well, I can't do that. Well, we all actually have access to artistic and creative sides. In art therapy, of course, you can use a variety of things. In the oracle cards, you can also use a variety of things. You know, in digital art, you can use crayon, felt tip, pastel paints. You could do a big painting and then take a photograph of it and reduce it for an oracle card. I think that or collaging or I don't know. To me, I think that the options are endless to do for an oracle card for yourself. And it's in the contemplation of the idea and working with that, and then allowing yourself to express without judgment, free flowing through that art process, that really some things come up and enable us to heal or do some healing work. It's sort of a safe way to access things, less intense in some ways than doing a deep therapy, like a talk therapy or something like that. So, and you can find lots and lots of information on art therapy, its uses, its benefits. And so really this project is a method for healing. The project by itself is valuable. And so you doing it individually, whether or not you connect with people, is going to be valuable. If you make one card, 2 cards, 10 cards, doesn't matter. Whenever, however you do it, to use art therapy will be extremely healing for you, and a good journey, a deep journey, especially if you can get over the self criticism, which I have to do when I sit down to do art, because I am judgmental of myself in art. I have blocks when it comes to that. But it gets easier as you do it. And the point is, doing anything is helpful. So you just remove the judgment and do it and see what happens. Explore it and see what happens and see if it helps you. The second reason why this project is helpful is that when we are in a group and we can share our thoughts, our insights, our cards, awarenesses come through others. It's the connection. So if you can take it from an individual level and then join a group, even if you just have 3 friends or 2 friends or whatever, and you want to do some of this together, that is also extremely helpful, because it's in the conversation about the topic that we spark off each other and go deeper. So if you've ever heard about improv theory, improv is, and of course acting is another form of art. Well, improv is a specific kind of drama or theater. And what's beautiful about improv is that it is also free flowing, in the sense that you don't have a lot of time to think things out, and you don't have a script to go by. And that's part of why it's sort of beautiful and getting people in touch with the moment and allowing that same flow. In improv theory, what people do is they say yes and. They talk about this idea of somebody gives you a line or they set you up, and let's say they say, here's an umbrella, or they're fake handing you it, because it's all improv, right? Take this umbrella from me. You would never like reject it and say change that umbrella to something else. You accept the umbrella and you add to it. Well, when we're working on a concept or you're having a conversation with somebody, you've probably noticed that what happens is that when you're in flow in a conversation or a connection, you do the same thing. We say yes and, because whatever they've said has sparked an awareness in you. And then you're like, oh, yes, and this other piece of the puzzle that I'm adding to it. And so what works about the Oracle cards in terms of a collaborative project is that as people are working on those topics and sharing their ideas, their insights, their own process, their own images, it allows a person individually to go deeper and deeper in their own understanding. So we're adding to each other. And then lastly, this will be made into a Divine Feminine Healing Oracle card deck. And the vision that was given to me through Archangel Gabriel is that in the process of everybody creating their individual cards, our healing intention, our awareness is all energetically in that image. It's symbolic, and because it's symbolic, it's universal. And so it transcends language and can transcend in some ways or connect between cultures. So when we create the Oracle card deck, at a certain point, everybody who's created cards can submit. The intention is there will be 65 Oracle cards from 65 different divine feminines from around the world. There are people currently in the group from Portugal, from Italy, from England, from Australia, from Malaysia, Philippines, Ireland, Spain, I think Netherlands. So I've named a few. Africa. So the India, okay, and USA, obviously, yeah, New Zealand, I think too. So we're expanding that network. And when we do that, we will be creating an energetic grid. So through the deck, each person's healing is infused in the card. The intention of healing is in the card. And when we create the deck, all that healing energy from around the globe creates an energetic matrix that will have an even greater impact. It will spread. It's energetically, it will be more powerful. So that is the intention. Oh, and then we are going to take a certain number of amount of the proceeds, and I thought 20% is good. Although I've been working with some publishers, and it just depends on the actual outcome. But at least 10%, and probably more of our profits will go to funding a project or a group, something on the planet that is helpful and healing for the planet. So the whole intention, everything is a bunch of people coming together for the purpose of healing and spreading our divine love and our healing understanding, and that is right in alignment with the twin flame journey. So hopefully I've done a good job of explaining to you why this project brings all of these pieces together. But you can access it to whatever degree you want to access it. You don't have to make it a big deal. And to be honest, you don't have to do it at all. I mean, it'll be valuable just to listen to the videos, but the intention of the channel and the project and everything is that this is a pathway to healing. So if you want to fully embrace that sort of mission of the divine feminine, it is one way to do that. One way to do that. Okay? Not the only way, but one way. I sort of look at the divine feminine, like when I started the journey, and it was very confusing. I was like, what is going on? All the signs and synchronicities, all this stuff. And it felt in some ways very, I think people get desperate. And the desperation stems from the fact that if this is divine and I have a soul partner who is the other part of me, then what control do I have? My soul made this agreement sort of without my 3D conscious knowing, and now I find out that it's made this agreement and I'm stuck, right? And I have to come into union. There's desperation there. Well, I think that is a 3D way of looking at it. When you sort of can shift, if you think about it like this, which was the shift for me. The way I looked at it was that my soul had wanted these sort of superpowers, right? Like this, the image that I got was spirit handing me a cape, like a superpower, a super. Oh my God! Why can't I think of the word? Like, a superpowers cape, like Superman or whatever. And the image was, here's your cape. Are you going to put it on? And if you put it on, understand that this is a spiritual mission, and you are on a path, and you can take control of where you go on that path and how you proceed. And you don't even have to. You could stay at the bottom of the path and be like, I'm a divine feminine and I have to get up that mountain, and I'm never gonna get up there. I'm gonna wait right here for my twin to come into union with me, and then together we will ascend the mountain. But the truth is, like, you're never going to move forward if you don't move forward. And so for me, it was like, here's the cape. And do you want this mission? Do you understand that it's not an easy path? It's not, it's filled with beautiful moments and it's filled with all kinds of growth, but you have to claim it. It's up to you to take the steps forward. And I just was like, hell yes. Hell yes, I'm going to take that. No guarantees of anything else, but I know that it's perfectly in alignment with my heart and my soul. It's absolutely, without a doubt, what I know I'm here to do. So, that said, doesn't make it easy. There are lots of days that are difficult, but I know that that comes with the journey. I know that that's a part of a part of my responsibility of donning that cape. So so I think that for a while it was easy to before I understood that, to just get lost in information, tarot readings, wanting to know when, what's going on. You know, I want to peek into understanding what's going on with the collective, what's going on with my twin, what's going to happen, what do I do? But the huge shift was recognizing that it was about my daily actions. It was about me mindfully, consciously claiming this mission as mine and saying, what can I do? What are my actions? What do I need to do now? Not thinking about the future and this pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. No, it was about making that now. And so that's why I came up with my process, which was affirmations, journaling, gratitude, because I could make that a part of my daily behaviors. And I have found it incredibly useful, and so have lots of other people. And it's because those three components are really, they're just effective. You can watch video after video after video about why affirmations are effective. You can find all kinds of information on why journaling and free writing, and you can channel spirit through writing. There's all kinds of ways, because it slows us down. It makes us mindful. It helps us to slow the process instead of letting our brain sort of bubble around with all kinds of thoughts that we can't make sense of. And then gratitude, just to stay really focused on all the good that we have in our lives, because we're surrounded by it all the time. And that helps mitigate when we have negative thoughts, especially coming in. And so what I have found in this particular process is that it has enabled me to stay more balanced more often. It has enabled me to feel where I am in control, to drive my own car, to, even when I get off balance, to understand that it is up to me to recreate my balance. And that in order to recreate the balance, I have to figure out what needs fixing and fix it. Become my own mechanic of my car, maybe, if you want to think about it that way. So that is going to be the video today on the oracle cards and the oracle card creation and how you can do it, art therapy, why it works, this process and why it works, and hopefully, if you so choose, it doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a really easy, small thing. I do about a process of about a half an hour in the morning total, and about 15 minutes at night. It works into my day. I work it in with my meditation. It just seamlessly flows. Obviously, I've stepped into mission, and I spend a much larger portion of my day thinking about these concepts, finding resources, stuff like that. But when it comes to just the oracle card to focus me and my intention for the day, and the affirmation for the day, yeah, it's super, super easy. So we're at 34 minutes, which means I'm going to stop it here. And then I am going to hop on and do another video that is a little more focused, that does bring in the Divine Feminine Oracle Guidebook or Oracle card of the day, and a Esther and Jerry Hicks card of the day, because for Instagram, I pulled some amazing cards and it was fabulous. And so we'll focus on that in the next video. So thank you for watching. And if you are interested in personal coaching services, I do offer that. I set my rates at extremely affordable prices so that everyone, I felt like everyone could access that. I have worked with several people. What I have seen so far is there's been great gains, particularly in the area of stepping into mission. So if you need any help in figuring out what your particular talents, desires, focus is, and then finding a mission that you're excited about, that you feel is really aligned with you, that is something that I can really help with through the mindfulness-based technique that I use called neurocoaching. So get in touch with me if you are interested in that. Half an hour is $30 and an hour is $60. You get a video of the session for you to refer back to. You can download it and keep it for yourself so that you can go back. Yeah, I think that's it for the day. So have a fabulous day. Please join us if you feel called to do so in the Oracle card creation. It's just going to be very special. So I appreciate you showing up, and happy healing. Bye.